Hey team, we're back. I have stayed largely clear of talking about the war in Ukraine and with Russia because...
Well, Lisette is with us now live from Odesa. Lisette, how close is the threat from Russia to you there?
New satellite images, Sam, that show Russian warships, including amphibious landing ships, amassing off the coast. The last time the famous Odesa Opera House was protected like this, it was 1945. The black and white memories of the Second World War have now been coloured in and brought to life. A midday launch of missiles sent flying across the country triggers that now all too familiar sound. This is the third siren we've had today. We're just quickly going into a bomb shelter we found nearby.
Don't mind my really horrible massive lips at the moment either. They're still super burnt from that fire extinguisher, so that's why. It's not bad filler. It's just where I'm at the moment.
How much has life changed here in the last 3 weeks?
Totally, absolutely, totally. Everybody have dreams, plans. We have normal life, and in one day, everything was broken.
Party supplies have been replaced by war supplies. Volunteers frantically package the basic needs for survival.
But my first perception of it, when this started happening, I thought, that's odd. Odd timing, but it's also odd because it gave a perfect excuse to every government to now start focusing on Ukraine and pretend that all of the propaganda that they fed everyone over the last 2 years around COVID and the danger didn't exist. Then the second thing that made me question it was when we started to see every single news organisation and every massive woke company and massive woke individual starting to go on and on and on about Ukraine and about how terrible it is and all of that, and it started to make me question.
We are all now under great risk. We work here under bomb attack, and we really don't know what happened in next day, minutes, hours.
But this is just a little bit that I want you guys to think about when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. So, there was a lot of discussions at the beginning about there possibly being biolabs and also missile launch bases put around the border of the Ukraine, and then a whole lot of people came out and they said that didn't happen, that's not true. However, we've got concrete proof that there's definitely biolabs. Whether or not they're weaponized, we don't know. Like if they're bioweapons, we're not sure. But there is biolabs in Ukraine. And before we go into this, I also want to say that I do not condone war of any kind. This is not me condoning at all what Russia is doing. I just want people to have a second thought about this. And the people that always suffer are the innocent people. It's always the ones at the top that get away scot-free, the ones that are pulling the strings that are always flying scot-free every time. And it's always the innocent citizens that get attacked and that get killed and that have horrible things happen to them, as we're seeing with the footage that's coming out of the Ukraine. That's completely wrong. It's not okay. But what happened? So there's an interesting situation that's going on at the moment. Candace Owens, who a lot of people will know, she's an American lady. She's, very, very, I would say, well researched with a lot of the information that she puts forward. She tweeted out saying she has got no explanation for why the US Embassy in Kiev, which is in Ukraine, removed the fact sheets pertaining to their biolabs in the Ukraine. Think about it from Russia's perspective. Say, and I'm not saying that this is true, but say that it is, say that it is true that they have funded biolabs on the border of Russia. If Russia tried to do that to the United States and tried to build biolabs on the edge of Mexico and possible missile bases on the edges of Mexico, would America be okay with it? Because President Putin, when I was reading and watching his speech the other day, I read it and then watched it as well, because sometimes you don't know if the translations are right and everything like that. So he said that this is a military operation. Now, Candace tweeted about this, and then next minute she got an interviewer from PolitiFact, who's a notorious hardcore lefty, doesn't really check all of their information website. She got an email from them saying, hey, why did you tweet this out? Why did you say they removed the links? The links are there, you're not telling the truth. However, we know from Wuhan that it's that it's very, very, very viable that they could be doing this. They could be doing gain of function research very, very easily in these labs. And this is the problem that we have when everyone's just come out of COVID. And these are the kinds of questions that people are saying, why are mainstream media not looking into this? Don't take anything I say for granted. Go and look into it yourself. Definitely don't take anything that MSM say for granted, because again, what are they showing you versus what the facts are? All right. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Now, overnight, there were another 2 air raid sirens. The bunkers were a lot busier than they were the night prior. Perhaps a reflection of the change of feeling here among Odesa locals, that now with those warships edging closer, those sirens could be signalling an attack on this city